originally from. So I got my bachelor's in electrical engineering from Mumbai University. I worked for a year with an electrical consulting firm, with another EPC firm basically. And then after working for a year, I decided to pursue further education, get my master's degree. I don't think I ever had a plan to do PhD. So masters was something I knew, and then probably get into the industry right away. So I got my master's in power systems from Michigan Technological University, which is in the northern part of United States. And as I started graduating in 2017, I landed up with a full-time job at Commonwealth Associates in substation design department. I'm a protection engineer, and I work on my day-to-day job is basically doing relay settings. I have also done substation design work, majorly worked on the transmission line, transmission level voltages basically. I am honored that I had an amazing family who have strongly believed in getting good education, in learning more and growing and taking engineering. And my parents have always supported me and motivated me to pursue as much education as I want and grab all the opportunities. But I know that this is not a common story. For a lot of places, it's a privilege to get education, and if you look at the data, we just have like literally 13% of engineers as women. So I want to give kudos to all the women who are there in this session and keep up the work, keep up, ask for education, and use the platforms that we have. We really have very less contribution coming from women. But good part is we let's not think about the negative side of, let's look at the positive side of what we have and how much we can make the most of it and excel in this industry and help other women engineers basically. And it's just not about women engineers, to be honest. I see a lot of guys in this session, and it's helping each other, to be honest. It's not just helping women, it's helping everyone, whoever is passionate about getting education and growing up and developing professionally basically. And we women have so much of potential, oh my god, which is not tapped and which we can use to make this world a better place. And the best part is that we are getting opportunities to show our talent, especially, and our career in energy sector is growing a lot. I've seen a lot of women getting involved on the technical side basically. And we have platform like IEEE that is giving letting us use our skills, hone our skills, not just leadership skills, but also getting technically strong by going to technical webinars and conferences and speaking up. If you have something, if you are a PhD student or if you have talent, we have the platform to speak up and share our knowledge basically. So that's amazing. And this is my story. I feel that through these platforms, I had the passion to grow, and this platform has helped me to grow. And I would like each and every person to use these kind of sessions, these kind of opportunities to get better in your career. And when I became the PhD chair, I got to know from someone that when they went to a conference, they used to get called, like, if there's someone else's spouse or did they come to the right place. And look now, we had our first PES women president in 2008, and our PPS president elect is a woman. So I feel that we are making a change. We have a very bright career, especially in energy sector, because we are getting backed up by really good platforms over here. And I would say one of the key reason for me to grow was I was passionate and I got a really good mentor at an early stage in my career. And that is one advice I feel like giving everyone. Pick a mentor, pick a good mentor, and see, learn from them. They would, if they are in IEEE, they would, give you, open all the avenues and let you explore what all opportunities you have. And you have the potential, you have the passion, so don't let your gender stop you from doing anything like this. Be bold to take the first climb on the ladder. So find a mentor who would guide you in choosing the right path within energy sector. I give my credit, like I mentioned, to John McDonald and who for the whole success of me in this industry. I usually like to lead by an example. So this is like a personal story coming out. So hopefully you guys connect with me. And mentoring him mentoring me has literally shaped my career professionally. And his advice always made me think and gave me a confidence that, hey, I can do this, which is very important. Sometimes we have that, we don't have belief in ourselves, and sometimes we need to take that leap of faith with the help of others. And the most important point in this I would like to say is, when you are growing up, when you are climbing up this, the ladder of success, you want to create a room for your fellow juniors, for your peers, and help the coming up generation, pave the road for them. I truly believe in that because success needs to be shared with everyone. And this opportunity gave me a chance to open the doors for so many girls, so many women, and I feel if I can do it, I think anyone can do it, to be honest. And one of the reason that I feel a lot of people don't get so much involved is because they are not aware of the different fields and the different interests that's available in the industry. So I would say try to be aware of your surrounding, try to be aware of what all opportunities are there. Communicate, connect, network, build relationship. And once you get that, and if you have really the passion and the drive, then I think you have, the sky is the limit for you guys, to be honest. Literally, the sky is the limit. And when we're talking about, what are the career options that we are looking for in the energy industry, well, there's literally a lot that you can explore. It just depends upon what you want to do. For example, I knew that I don't have a mindset for research. I would like to directly get into the, like, start working. So you can either pick a research option, then go get a PhD, do masters, be a professor, and pass on a knowledge, or you can directly get higher education and start working in the industry directly, if you want to make a difference like that. Basically, it depends a lot on your interest, and it's okay at this time, at this age, you don't know what you want to do. Take your time, ask your question every day about where you want to go, and someday you'll find the answer. And when you try to explore, you'll get an idea. So when you get an idea, you'll be aware, and then you'll know what you like and what you don't like. Within power systems, which is where I am, we have a lot of options. You can, if you're picking up which particular job I need to choose, you can go into designing, you can go into manufacturing industry, where you do product management basically, and then you can get an MBA and go into the management side also. But we are still in the energy sector, we are not changing that. If you want to get into the planning side, like doing load flow analysis and basically analyzing the grid, you can choose that option. I mean, there is literally a lot. I am trying to speak here in terms of what is available in US. We may have something similar in India, I am not sure. When I was working back then 5 years ago, I used to work on substation building. So literally, I used to pull up all the resources that are needed. I used to work on a transformer. I used to work on a breaker, and pretty much that doesn't change. The concept doesn't change. Concept remains the same in any part of the world. It just depends upon what kind of industry will provide you more options. So renewables, right? We probably have a lot of solar going on, so you can pick those kind of options. And I truly believe renewables is the future. Okay, any kind of task, any kind of action, job action that you pick, you try to have the product in renewables. What I mean to say is renewables is a sector. Pick that sector. But the task you would be doing could be any of these. It's just the application would be different. So, for example, I am doing protection. I am doing protection for the transmission lines or from the transmission level of substations. But the protection concept doesn't change if I'm working on renewables, if I'm working on a battery, if I'm working on a distribution side, if I'm working on a, say, PV, I'm working on a whole grid of wind energy. The concept remains the same. It's just that you're applying and slightly modifying the way engineering works, basically. So pick the field that you want, you would be interested in, that won't bore you. You're spending 8 hours of your day, literally minimum, I would say minimum. So make sure that whatever you pick, it interests you, because you're spending a big chunk of your life over there. So make sure you, and take your time, don't rush. Maybe you will try multiple things and then you would find it. No rush, that's completely doable, that's completely fine. But try to explore more is what I would say. Try to do a lot of research, try to read things, be curious, keep on learning things, and that you'll find the future in this industry. And I just want to conclude this session. I don't know if I've taken too much time. Okay, I just want to conclude certain aspects, that if you are passionate about tech and you want to innovate, you want to engineer, just believe in yourself and take that leap of faith. You would do wonderful. Sometimes we women lack confidence, we have slight imposter syndrome, but our fear just hinders our capability of achieving great things. And just be confident, and believe me, you will do well. So that's my advice to you. Like, just let your fear, keep your fear outside, and do what you really want to do. You will excel. And I also want to say one thing, let's keep this more of an interactive session rather than me talking, you guys getting bored. We will have fun, we'll have Q&As, and feel free to unmute yourself, be bold. Okay, that's another thing. If today we are in a very different world, it's no more what our parents did. So we have to be bold, we have to take our own stand, and that's how we would rise. So make sure if you have any question, don't hesitate. I'm not going to eat you. In fact, this is the time that you make network. You ask questions, you get your concerns resolved. I'll try to resolve. I'll try to give you the best answer I can. But that's all I want to say. Over to you. And thank you for the opportunity.
Now I request participants to ask any queries, if any, to the speaker.
You can put it in the chat. I can take a look at the chat. That's fine too. I hope I did not go fast. Sometimes when I am passionate about things, I go into my own world and I keep on talking and talking and talking without realizing. Either my session was like so thorough that I cleared all the questions, or you did not understand anything. Thank you, Giri. I don't know how to say your name because it has got multiple things. Good morning, ma'am. You can call me Chaitali. Please don't call me ma'am. If you call me ma'am, I just feel I'm too old. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Rahul. Can you please about why we use the standard frequency to transmission line? I do not understand your question. So frequency is different. For example, India uses 50 hertz frequency, but over here we use 60 hertz frequency. It's standard. Yeah, I am not sure. Yeah, it depends upon country. That's right.
Uh,
What kind of opportunities are available in power sector? I mean, there are a lot of opportunities. Like I mentioned in my talk, you can enter into energy. You can enter into a research side of the aspect where usually the topics are pretty much picked by the professor, and if you want to work with any of the professor on the topic, you can go like that. Or like I mentioned, you can enter into designing, you can enter into the planning side of the grid, you can enter into the protection and control, which I am doing. You can also enter into commissioning side if you like commissioning, testing. If you are trying to think, what else do we have? You can do analysis, analyzing the grid, putting simulations, putting faults. Those are another sector in the. So these are the action. These are the tasks that I'm saying, and the application can be anything. You know, if you have renewable projects, you'll be working on renewables. If you have transmission level projects, you'll work on transmission level. Oh, hi Giridhar. Thank you. I'm Supriya pursuing my postgraduate. Is this master certificate meant for PhD? What are the research side for us? Master certificate meant for PhD. I am not sure what master certificate you are talking. Can you elaborate? What are the research side for us? Research side pretty much depends upon the professor. I believe I don't have enough knowledge because I'm not into research. So it depends upon with whom with what kind of research the professor has. It can be anything, to be honest. You could be working on a very, as small as, fixing something related to frequency or interconnections of distributed energy resources. You could be working on cybersecurity for renewables. You could be working on communication side. So it can be anything. I mean, it's diversified. You can, if you're interested in particular research, I would say start looking for professors because they are the one who tends to have funding, and that's how I have seen PhD. I have never done a thorough research by myself, but that's, I believe, how it works over here. How we know about job vacancies in industry? Usually there are career portals, and if there is any job that's available, I would say they would update on the websites. So if you're in India, I would say look up for the companies. First of all, the companies that come to your university. I That's how I know it used to work when I graduated. So universities used to come. They used to have like a. I am trying to remember what it's called, and where you give aptitude test, and then you give interviews, and that is one way. Another way would be go on to the. I mean, that's what I did. I used to like pick top 50 companies in my region, and I was to go on their website and look for careers. Go to the career page. Another would be LinkedIn. LinkedIn also shows career options. I would highly recommend you guys going on LinkedIn and creating a profile if you haven't done. Fourth option would be networking. Usually, a lot of time when you try to build relations, when you try to network, a lot of these engineers would know that there is a position in the company and then they will post it. They will post it probably on LinkedIn or through your network. You would know that this is an upcoming job or there's a job vacancy in particular industry, so you can keep an eye out like that. So to be honest, there are really a lot of options. All you need to do is like explore these, and networking is the fastest, I believe. If you have a good connection, then it's easy to get a job is what I feel, because that person knows you personally. You have worked with that person basically. I hope that answers your question. Are we eligible to do job in US? It depends upon what your visa is. I mean, if it's a tricky, I mean, if you're coming here for studying, and then you have an option of getting you through work visa, you get an option which is the work visa has like three chances, and if you get picked, if your work visa gets picked in those three chances, then you work here for like 3 years, and then you have an extension, and then you work for another 3 years. I know current situation is very tricky. I don't know how many people are coming to US. um, it's because of the visa issues. That's where it's getting riskier as compared to when I came in 2015. It was slightly better. So I would say check with the ones who are graduating now. I graduated a long time back, but I know the visa situation is tricky. How will we approach opportunities in power sector? If you're talking about if you're talking about job opportunities, I would say look up for new like career options. Another thing that you can do in your free time is go and look at the companies, their websites. Usually their websites are updated with the projects, so you would see what kind of projects they're doing, and you would observe that this kind of projects are quite often. So you know that's the sector. If you have too many projects going on in particular, like say renewables, you would know renewables is the future because you have so many projects coming up. So go to the website and take a look at that. Like this is solely I'm talking about respect to your own like region, and uh, look for their career page if you're looking for job opportunities. What is the capacity of substation you got worked? I think I've worked here on 161 kV, 345 kV. It's different as compared to India. India works on 1133, 1133, and I'm trying to remember. I think 1133, yeah. So, and here I've worked on 345. It's different over here. It's not the same as India. Oh, what are your plans after study? I am done. I got my master's long time back, so I'm working right now. So I'm a young professional in IEEE terms. So I've been working in this industry for the past 4 years now, and I plan to continue that. Can you tell me about the projects you did? Um, I cannot talk a lot about details, but I'll give an overview of what I do. Basically, I do relay settings. You have a transmission line. Okay, let's talk with substation. You have a substation, you have buses, you have feeders, and I believe you must have taken a course. I think I did take a course back when I was in bachelor's, which talk about protection. Like you have overlapping zones for a substation, and say You have a bus, you have a generator, then you have a transformer, you have you have a line, and then you have a, basically in between you have a bus. So you need to protect the generator, you need to protect the transformer, you need to protect the bus, and then you need to protect the transmission line. So my projects are basically, running faults, checking that the relays operate on fault conditions, but they don't misoperate on loading conditions. You don't want a whole section, you know, to go into outage just because your relay misoperated. So that kind of projects is what I do. I do the protection side. Sometimes I've done worked with communication. So how would one relay communicate with another relay? And what kind of settings would you work on? How would you, what is the philosophy that you would put into the place? So if you want to learn more about protection and control, there are a lot of books out there, and Blackburn is one of them. So you can give a read. It's more on the master's level, but if you really want to, if you really have interest, I would say go ahead and take a look at it. And I believe you should have a course as well, which will talk about the protection side in bachelor's. I think I did. What was the basic interest substitution department? Why not other? My interest was protection, to be honest. I I mean, first it was substation. Then I took a course in my final semester, and it was core technical, and I knew that I want to do technical. So it was very challenging when I was graduating. It looked really, cool to learn, and to do those kind of analysis. And also it was interest. It was interest that I was like, yeah, this looks really technical and interesting, and I want to pick this. So I had another, I think I had a few other options like going into manufacturing industry, but I was not so much interested in the product. So I picked this job basically. What are all the activities you are involved in apart from IEEE and job? I I'm very passionate about community, and where I'm residing basically, I we have a lot of community related, events, and I try to participate. So like we have something within community which is like a Bright Walls festival, where they do murals, and I have been part of that group. So I've helped, organizing things like that. So that's more community oriented. I'm part of a Toastmaster club. I want to develop a good public speaking, and for the past 3 years I've been part of the Toastmaster club. Recently I did not have enough time to, go to their weekly meetings, but that's something you can explore if you really want to be a good public speaker. Be a little bit, remove your fear when you're talking to like so many people. Then I think Toastmaster is also heavily involved in India, so you can pick that. uh, is the woman works in core sector? Absolutely. Absolutely. Women can work anywhere, in any environment, if you really want to do it. When I was in India, I did go onto the field sites. I was accompanied by a really good, colleague, teammate. I mean, my company always made sure that I go with someone, a reliable person when I'm going on field, so that I'm protected. And you can work anywhere, any core sector. You don't have to worry about how will I do. You'll do fine. As you said, you have taken a course for protection. Can we know the approach towards that? Oh, course as in, like in your bachelor's, you may have it as a subject. Here it's called course. And in my master's, I had a subject which was called, I think, protection of substations or something like that. I don't remember exactly. And here you get an option of, when you do masters, you basically have like multiple subjects that you can take, and you can pick your own which subject you want to learn. Like I took one which was on wind and wind power plants. So you can pick which you want. So protection is like a very basic course that's necessary if you're doing masters. So that's how I took. Are you working? Can you get opportunity into that? I cannot speak on those terms because there are visa issues and all those other things that comes into place. It's not as easy as it to me look like. We, I mean, getting a job in India is easier because of you don't need a visa. Here you need a visa first of all to work, and there are multiple ways you can get as in come here for education, so you get education visa. And when you're doing a STEM education, you usually get a period to do, you get experience basically, and through that experience you can apply for your work visa, and that's how you can work. And my company is in US, my company is not all across the globe. Generally, the percentage of women in power sector is comparatively less. What do you think the reason is, and how can we overcome in future days? I think the reason is a lot of time the people around you. I feel it is less. It's growing though. It's growing, and we have to make sure that we do STEM encouragement, especially in the areas where education is not focused so much. So you can tell them, talk about science, talk about technologies, talk about physics, and talk about maths. So the way we can do it is educate as much as possible. Try to indulge them in these kind of activities when they're kids. And once they know and once they are aware, then we can direct them to get more opportunities, you know. So I feel, you know, awareness and creating that environment, that it's so good, it's so interesting, it's so important, that would pull in. And of course, you know, family and everything comes into the place. It's not so straightforward. How do you manage work life balance? Oh, I'm not so good at work life balance. It's difficult thing, especially if you have a lot going on. And I would say one thing is just talk to your family, you know, tell them this is what you want to do, this is what you're passionate about, and they will understand. And you just, you know, sometimes you have to pick sides. So yeah, you sometimes you pick professional side, sometimes you pick your regular life, and then you decide. But it's okay sometimes that it's imbalance. You cannot have perfect thing. How IEEE helps in career? Oh, IEEE has got so many platforms, especially, you know, if you're talking about technical, there are like so many webinars. If you're a member, can go to resource center, and there are a lot of free webinars. If you don't want to pay, you can access those. There are a lot, if something interests you, then you can also grab them. I think it's for a like literally very less fee, like $5 or something. You can technically grow like that. You can go to conferences. You guys are doing fantastic because you're already aware of, you know, your student branch and all. Back then when I was of your age, I didn't even know IEEE. I did not know anything about my student branch. So you guys are doing great. And just take a pick these kind of platforms, get leadership experience, like, you know, organize events, you know, team building, networking. And when you try to communicate with speakers all across the globe, I mean, we are in virtual environment. So to be honest, it's really good because you can connect with anyone. So, you know, connect with different speakers and try to learn from them. And there are literally a lot of leadership opportunities. There are mentoring opportunities. You know, try to find a mentor for yourself. All these things will eventually lead to better career, I feel. And what you motivate all the time? I think I'm very passionate about doing a lot of things, especially if they are serving the community. And that's what motivates me and keeps me going. Like, you know, sometimes I really feel bad to say someone that I really don't have time. And sometimes, like, okay, I do want to do this, but how do I manage? So I think if you are really, if it's of your interest, you would be motivated all the time. What are the skills needed to get a job in power system sector? Keep learning. Try to be technically sound. Um, Try to understand things, and talk to your seniors, talk to your peers, and see what is in demand currently around you, what kind of softwares they need, and be curious every time. Our industry is like literally changing really fast as compared to 10-15 years ago, and you have to keep up. Like, we have now, it's not just related to electrical engineering anymore. We have cyber security, we have data science, and other kind of interesting sectors that are now getting jobs in electrical, like power systems basically. So try to look for, you know say if you try to communicate with someone senior who recently got a job, try to stay connected with them after they graduate, because then you can talk to them that, hey, what kind of job you're doing and what's in demand. I can tell you what's in demand in here. We have a lot of softwares that are used here for that you need to learn. But you know so I can tell it to someone who's graduating, but you have to just check with your peers and your seniors of what's in importance for your industry in India basically. We have any particular experience to come and work like you in job there? We have any particular experience? mm, I don't think you really need to get an experience. You Once you get an education here, of course, you get an education here, you can get a job. I don't think my experience in India really mattered. So yeah, if you're talking about like work experience, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, if you're aware of a lot of softwares, if you're aware of like Python coding and other extra things, then that would definitely help in your job. Can you please let us know the job experience, way to getting a job in India, and way to go for those? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That experience in like how to get a job, I would say go to the career websites and network on LinkedIn. Usually there are job options over there. I don't know if there are any portals available where you can find a job. I'm not aware of that. But you, I would say, especially the companies that come to your universities, keep a good research and go to the company's website and career page. You would see a lot of openings over there. IEEE is an open access for research. The research center has got a lot of webinars, which, and I think the IEEE Explorer, I think that is free for students. If you want to read papers, I think that's free for that. And some of them are locked, so some of them you may not have access to it. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember. I think I had an access through my university. So maybe check with your university if they have an access to the IEEE Explorer. So this is what I'm talking about, Explorer. But Resource Center is definitely available for PES students. So you have like a lot of webinars out there. If you get time, can you train us for substation development and control? I don't think I can do that. I would say there are a lot of other webinars, like literally professional people giving good webinars, and you can learn. Like I am not a certified one, so I would rather have someone certified give you the training. So I would say just look up substation training webinars. I mean, I don't know if there's anything in particular, but you could find a lot of series. Yeah. And also another thing that I would say is, you have textbooks, right? You can there's a lot of information in the textbooks. That's how I started. So read textbooks. That would also help. Can you suggest job portals for freshers? Um, I don't know if Indeed, Monster.com, Glassdoors. I don't know. These are ones that I know are available here. You may want to check if they are available in India. I cannot speak for India because I haven't looked at it. So so I don't know, to be honest, if you're talking specifically. LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is something which is uniform everywhere. So you can look at LinkedIn. Tell about IEEE course. IEEE course. What kind of IEEE course are you asking? Yeah, you can put it in the chat. What kind of IEEE asking? What are your plans for the day, ma'am? Oh, I work 8 to 5. I have my 8 to 5 job, and sometimes there are projects. So sometimes you work weekend for the projects, and a lot of other. Like I said, I'm involved in other community related work as well. So that occupies some of my time. And then PS day was I still have a lot of work to finish, so that's pretty much occupying my time. It's ask command smart grid. IEEE smart. Tell us about. You should be able to find a lot of smart grid courses. I'm just trying to look up. And okay, there is one more thing. If you're really curious, PS Day during the PS Day we had a lot of webinars, which the recordings have been shared with the registered people, and you can those are free webinars and they are amazing. Oh my god, so much of technical knowledge. So you can take a look at those as well, like especially electric vehicles, policies, and these kind of topics, They are really good programs. And I would say um, if you another thing that you want to connect with the young professionals in your areas. I know John Benedict, he's a young professional and he's really good. I would say connect with those. They would know what is more suited in your environment, in your region, and in India. And connect with young professionals. That's the way to go. Pick someone in the industry and talk to them. Just like today you're talking to me. And there are some aspects that I can cover, but there are certain domains that are not in my within my reach. But young professionals from region 10, you go ahead and talk to them, and I'm sure they would have a lot more ideas and better ideas than what I have. And I think for IEEE Smart Grid, I think there was resource center. I'm just looking up online, so um, sorry for a few minutes. And there is also IEEE Smart Grid Resource Center that you can take a look at, which, yep, it's like $11, but I'm sure there must be a lot of free webinars as well. IEEE PS Center. I would say if you haven't looked at IEEE PS Resource Center, then definitely take a look at it. I mean, sometimes I feel like there are so many webinars that I want to go ahead and listen to, and it's just sometimes simply not possible. Substation. So I'm looking at the one substation controls. And let me see if there's anything free. Okay, so for PES members, you can, yeah, there is like innovations in communications in power system part one and part two. They are free. I would say just go ahead and search with a specific topic. And these are the ones that are like literally given by really experienced people in the industry. And they are good teachers. do and has opportunity. Absolutely, CSE students have opportunities in power sector. Some of the in some of the companies, I don't know, like simulation based companies, like the ones that do softwares with power industry, like MATLAB and MathWorks. I think MathWorks. Yeah, MathWorks. MathWorks, Aspen. These need coders to do the back end coding for simulations. So I feel a lot of these, especially, and another thing is data analysis. Like when you're doing communications and all, you have a lot of data that you need to analyze. So there are a lot of opportunities if you look for like data analyst or something. I don't know how much it is in India, but yes, CSE students have really good benefits. Yeah. Okay. Wow. So we looks like we have another 10 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. Any more questions? I hope I am giving you enough information that you need.
I would like to thank Chetali ma'am for giving her valuable time with us with the season on career of women in power sector, and it went so well with a healthy interaction with the participants. Also, I hope the participants got to know many things about the opportunities in power sector. I want to extend my thanks to the participants for spending their time with us today. Now I request to Sairam Rangaraju, Chairperson, IEEE SBC VCE, to present the token of gratitude to Chetali ma'am.
Oh, you can call me Chetali. You don't have to call me ma'am. And thank you so much for giving me this platform. I hope shared, I think I've shared everything that I have in my bag. And thank you for the token of appreciation. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.
And keep up your good work. You're at the right place. Use IEEE platforms, communicate with seniors, and you know, try to find a mentor. And you would do great. You are doing great. So thank you. And if you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Thank you. And have a good rest of your day. Bye bye.
Sairam bro, please turn off the recording.